Hello everyone, Josh from Broadline Trains, and today I have a new video for you guys. This video has been waited for many months and years actually, and finally I have the time to film it. This is also the start of a new series, which I don't know how far I'm going to go with the series. If this video does well, we will continue the series. It's basically the review series. I'm going to be reviewing some of my locomotives, going into history, how I got them, and going into some history about their real-life counterparts. So, with further ado, let's begin the video. Moving on from the intro, which is still a constantly battle, because I'm trying to give you guys the best content, but that's besides the point. We need to introduce, finally, 671, which is this locomotive, and the 682. Now, just in real life, when these were produced, I got the 671 first, and then I got the 682. Now, the reason why this video took so long was that my 671 was in really bad shape. I'm not going into specifics what were wrong with it, but it was enough of a problem where I said enough's enough, and I had the money at the time, so I purchased the 682, which I'm really happy with the 682. I've never had any trouble with it. They're kind of based off of the 681, but the only difference, which I'll get into later, was what makes them so rare. They were only produced for 2 years. But we need to talk about its real-life counterpart. The real-life counterpart was the S2 class, which was produced in 1944. One was only produced, but I do know from other people who have reviewed the turbine, or the PR turbine, is that there were another one ordered, but it never got off the ground because the project was eventually a failure, but you will learn why that was later on in this video. Now, the true S2 class was a collaboration between the Baldwin Locomotive Works and the Westinghouse Electric and Manufacture Company. The ultimate reason why this locomotive was produced was to test the capabilities of a steam turbine on rails. The steam turbine was so successful in the marina ward that they thought, why not bring a real-life steam turbine to the rails, which the PR was the ultimate tester for that project. Now, there were other steam turbines, but the PR steam turbine was considered the most successful in the world of steam turbines in the United States. There were other steam turbines. I know, especially in the UK, there was one. It eventually got rebuilt, but we're living in the United States, so we need to talk about what the world of here, or rares, had to offer for that category of steam. Moving on from that, I know the history wasn't the best, but there are so many other videos out there that talks about the steam turbine, and I do not want to get anything wrong. So I'm going to move away from the actual S2 class and go into the 671 and the 682. So with further ado, let's begin the next part about these two magnificent locomotives. Hope you enjoyed that quick little summary about the S2 class. I didn't want to go into too much detail as there are a number of videos out there about the class and the history and models that I don't really want to get something wrong and never hear the end of it. Plus, you guys didn't come to hear me talk about the origins of the Lionel turbine. You just came here to see the actual model run, which we will get into. Just hold your horses. So, with further ado, let's begin with the first model, which is on the left, which is this, which is my 671, the first turbine. So, it is 1946, and Lionel is starting to reintroduce model trains after the war. Lionel did a bold strategy and introduced smoke. According to their website, that this is the first ever locomotive to have it. So, if you want to hate on somebody, hate on them. That's what it says. I do know that the 726 also had smoke, but I don't know what year. I might put a note or something like that in this video. If not, if I ever get a chance to review a 736 or a 726, I will correct my mistake in that video. But moving on from that, the version you're currently looking at is a 1949. Now, there are so many different versions. Let me scroll down on my computer here. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 different versions. I'm sorry for that roof. And if you hear the dog, I'm sorry about that. You're just going to have to mind him. He's mad at the moment. But let's continue where we were at. So, with those 6 versions, this version is, I believe, is a 1949, which is the last variant. There are no steel rims on this, and there are how it's built. It just seems a little bit newer than what the original seller I got this from were saying. The tender, which I have, basically it's in chambers. Oh, yep. I'm just gonna put it back down. I do have the shell. The shell is taken off at this current time. Sorry. But I'm trying to fix it. I have parts for it. It's just time. It's the reason why this video never came out sooner. But I'm doing it now, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm sorry. The tender it's on currently, as you can kind of see from right here, is a 2671W whistle tender, which I'll post a picture of it right here. Yeah. It's nothing special. I got mine for $60. I got the engine and tender that you just saw a couple minutes ago for $125. With the original boxes. I don't know if they're original. I know there's been people out there who have sold boxes. The boxes look too new to be the originals. But needless to say, it could get me a better price if I ever wanted to sell it. So, moving on from the 671, we're going to talk about the 682, which is right here. And why did I get a 682 if I already had one turbine? Well, we're going to talk about that here in the next couple of minutes after I do a switcheroo. So, enjoy this little, I don't know, something's going to be said here. If there's not, I'm sorry. But I'll be right back. Moving on from that little history session of the 671, we are going to start to give you a somewhat detailed look at this magnificent engine. I'm going to point out some stuff, and I'm going to give you a little bit of history of the stuff that I've done to it so far to make it a little bit better, but it's still unusable at this current time, so don't expect it to run in this video. Maybe when I can actually get it to function right, then this locomotive will get a video of it running on the layout. But we're going to only be running this locomotive over here and not this. So, with that get out of the way, let's start with the major noticeable difference between this one and this one. Now, if you look at first glance, it doesn't look any different between this one over here, but I will tell you there's one big difference most people will never notice. My 682 has a white stripe that goes all the way on the running board, and this one doesn't. This one also doesn't have the valve gear. For the sake of this video, I am just going to consider the valve gear a monkey fist. It has so many other names, but this is a name that I've chose for it as a document from a website that I saw, or video that I saw. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Basically, considered the valve gear, auto gear, a monkey fist. So ever since then, I've considered the valve gear on the 682, which we will get to, a monkey fist. You can see that there is some little detail right here. I don't know if you really can see it, but that's really about the major difference. They're basically the same locomotive. Now, if you put them next to each other, the 671 is a lot more different, like taller. I don't know why that is. Maybe later years they've redesigned the body or something just to make it smaller. It's hard to say, but honestly I like the height of this more than I do on the 682. The motor is a little bit older on this one than it is on that one over there. They're both at the same place, back. Let me kind of move it so you can see. That's the motor right there, and that one I will turn around and show you the brushes, which these are. These brushes are older style, and with that being said, the newer ones would have been a lot more easier to get off if any repair work were needed to be done. On the other side, it's basically the same. Not a lot of difference. You still have the massive turbine here. You have some separately applied handrails, molded on detail, and then the E-unit switch, which is right here. If you don't know how an E-unit switch works, you have it in 3 positions, or if you want to save the position, you just automatically switch it onto the other side, and it will save that position that you want, which comes in handy if you're doing videographer work. If you just want the engine just to turn on and have a light on, it's really, really useful. That wasn't its main purpose back in the day. It was mainly to save it to go forward, reverse, if you wanted it to. The trucks on this one are a lighter color than the ones that you will see on the 682. I do not know why that is. There's probably a great reason. I've never understood. There's nothing on the website, if I can look at it. Let me put in the secret password. Sorry for the roof falling off. I can't get to the website at the moment, but I don't know why they did it. So, yeah. With that being said, we are going to switch it around one more time and kind of show you the front of this beautiful locomotive. Now, this front part is basically what you would have seen on the real life version. Um, any other turbine from Lionel will probably have the same hatch. All turbines, which is ironic to me, are the exact same body numbering. I don't remember off the top of my head, but every single body could theoretically fit that locomotive. You got the vent, you got the number plate, and then you got the light. Alright, so moving from that, we're basically done reviewing this locomotive. I am going to take it off the tracks, and I'm going to do the video part, the next part of this video, sorry, on the tender. Now, this tender is a 2671, which I have mentioned. This one does have the Inframent's backup light. I don't know. I like them. Some people have different opinions, but it's pretty cool in my personal opinion. This tender has the stamped heated lettering. This tender does sadly have some damage on it on the other side. I like running it on this side because you will never tell that it will have damage. But if we turn it on the other side, you will see that there's damage right here. And I do not know where that is from. It probably is from a drop of some sort. It's hard to say. There were some repair work done to it, but I don't think I will probably ever fix this tender because it's not in bad shape overall and it does run. We are going to move off from that and we're going to bring up the 682 and I'm going to bring up some history about it. We will review it and then that will probably be it for the history and overview and review of my locomotives for this episode. So, I will be right back, and I will see you guys in the next couple of minutes or a couple of seconds. Well, actually, nothing, because you guys will just see the video switch over. Like this. Alright, now that the 671 is out of the way, we need to talk about the most newest turbine that I own, which is the 682. This was the last turbine I got, and it's ironic, this was Lionel's last turbine. It was only sold for 2 years, 1954 and 1956. If I said 1944, I was wrong, it's 1954, just to clarify. This locomotive was painted in black. It was die cast with the white stripes on both sides. The only difference between this one and any other turbine was the monkey fist all-over gear, or on this website, which I haven't seen yet what it considers it. Linkage. Val gear linkage on the website. That's what's considered. This locomotive does have a 3-position E-unit, and you can also set it to go what other direction. Now, I do have to clarify that some locomotives E-units, if you buy them from a shipper on eBay, please note that you can have a engine have a really bad E-unit. That doesn't mean that it doesn't work, it just means you need to take some time to either buy a new E-unit or completely take it apart. Just from my experience, taking apart the E-unit is probably the best solution they're really easy to take apart if you have the tools, and the key word in that is having the tools. Um, this locomotive does smoke. I know I probably didn't mention it, but the 671 does smoke, even though we've had a couple of incidents where it has accidentally destroyed its smoke system. The one that I have in it right now didn't get destroyed. Finger crossed and knock on wood, it doesn't. But we've already reviewed the 671, so we need to talk about this locomotive. This locomotive does have a 2046 W50. Now, the one that's on it is actually a 2046 W off of a 2065 locomotive. I did that because the tender that goes with this locomotive, and I don't know why, but it's with all 682 tenders, they squeak, and it's the most annoying thing. So I took the cover off of it and I put it on a tender that the engine at the current moment doesn't work for it. So I do have, it does work when it wants to, but I am having to clean the pickups and the track because I haven't ran any trains in a long time, and that will be the next segment of this review. So we're gonna turn it around and show you the brushes now, and then I'll show you the other side, and then I will do a in-depth review of the tender and talk about the front and some errors that were done to it, which, yeah. And I kind of will mention, because I did not talk about it yet, the things I've done to my post-war turbines. So, moving to the back of the locomotive, we see the brushes. Now, these brushes are a lot better to get into. You don't really have to solder them out. Sometimes I have heard that you have to solder wires off of them. This one, you can probably just get a flathead screwdriver and unscrew it. That's what I've done in the past, and that's usually all that needs to be done to help this locomotive live for the next 40 to 80 years. And clean the, armature or whatever it's considered. But just like the 671, the motor is in the back. Moving to the other side, we can see the 3-position E unit on top, the 6A2 number, the back truck, the wheels, the gearage, the valve gear, or the monkey fist as I consider it, the front truck. These are, the camera isn't really doing it justice, but they're a lighter, they're like a light gray almost color, but the camera isn't giving it any justice. The best I can explain is this wheel up here. It's basically that same type of wheel. Moving to the front of the locomotive, we can tell the Pennsylvania Keystone number plate, the lens to the light, and the vent for the turbine, and then the, what we call it here in America, cow catcher, front plate. I mean, they have tons of words, but I'm just going to consider it a cow catcher. Now, you might notice that the lens is broken. I'm trying to get the pointer to it. Now, that has always been broken since I've gotten it, so don't think that's something new. I do eventually plan to fix it, but it takes money and time to do stuff like that. There is a little dent right here. I don't know where that's from. The previous owner never told me, so it's up in the air why there's a little paint chip in it. The smoke unit has been converted to liquid smoke. This locomotive is running a LED light, which if you want to know how I do that, please let me know down in the comment section down below. Now, it's time to talk about the tender. I'm going to go get that tender, so I'll be right back. Alright, here are both tenders. Now this is the original tender that came with my 682, and this is the tender that came with my 2065. Sadly, that 2065 doesn't run at the moment, as I have no idea what's wrong with it. The only evidence that I know is that the somewhere inside it started smoking, and that's never a good sign. Don't allow your engines to get to that point. The only reason why that engine got to that point was that I didn't know what was wrong with it when I bought it. Like I said, this whistle does squeak. It's really loud. There's nothing really you can do. I've seen other 2046 W50s do it. The 50 basically means the shell. For some odd reason, Lionel thought it would be somewhat comical, or I don't know what they were thinking, to put a dash number on 2046. And this variant had the 50 on it. Now, the 50 shell, whatever you want to consider it, is the same as the 2671W tender. Both of them do work. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that's pretty much all I have for this segment. What we're going to do next is we're going to put the 682 on and get it ready to pull a train. When this part will get filmed, it will be filmed on a later date, so the scenery might change just gradually. I am very sorry for that. Please know that I do have other stuff happening when I film videos, so it will get the next part is going to be done this week at some point. This video will most likely be uploaded this upcoming Friday, November 10th, when you are probably watching this. If not, that means I got a chance to put everything on the tracks and film. So I'm just going to sign off for now, because I'm not going to talk in the next part. I might leave a little message at the end just thanking you guys for all the support. So for now, this is Broadline Trains signing off, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Alright, so I now have a train set up. So this next part is going to be kind of some more of the review, but this is going to be a how-to type thing or whatever. I know a lot of people who own steam locomotives will already know how to do this, but if some people do not know how to put in smoke fluid or something like that, so I kind of just want to show how I put my smoke fluid in. Yes, these locomotives have been converted over to smoke fluid. I know there's one company that just popped up, and they are starting to make pellets. As much as I would like to go back to the older times, I do have to think more conservatively of how to keep these things running for the next 30 years. So I am just going to convert them over to smoke fluid, which what I use for my smoke fluid, if you guys can't see, is JT Mega Steam. Coal fire. Yes, I like coal fire. And it does the justice of a coal fire. So we're going to first start up the engine. I don't know which direction it will go into. I hope in play it will be neutral, but I won't know until I fire it up. There we go. It is currently at about 11 on the ZW. So I am going to shake my smoke fluid again. as you can tell. These insert dispensers I also got off of Amazon. I know I haven't mentioned it yet, but yes, I got my smoke fluid off of Amazon. I'll probably put a link down in the description below on my smoke fluid if you really wanted to get a hold of some. It's up to you. But there's a little cap that goes on it, which are in my hand. I'm just going to lay it on my operational board. And then I am going to, it's already starting to smoke just a little bit. We're just going to give it some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for good measure. So there is a faster way to warm up the smoke fluid. I might do it, I might not. It is called, what I like to call it, the whistle touch. Basically you blow the whistle. And I've learned this when I was running my 675. It likes to be preheated for some odd reason. So it it's a really good smoker. I had it up here. That might be another review we can do eventually, but for the time being we're reviewing the turbines. So I'm probably going to do it, as I have not seen any smoke come out. I have a light, so I am going to shine it down there. Over here I had it, there it is. So we're going to preheat it, and I'm going to just give it 2 toots. And it should actually preheat it. Yep, we got some smoke. It will get more warmed up when it's running around the layout, but that is probably the best it's going to be for the time being until I let it go. I am going to slow it down before it starts. It might do some wheel slippage. I am wearing a mic at the moment, so I'm going to take off the mic and just have the engine roll out of here and have maybe some music playing, maybe 1950s music. I do not know yet. But yeah, I'm going to sign off. I know I said I was going to sign off in the last part, but I'm just going to sign off now. I will see you guys, maybe, hopefully, on another video. It depends on how well this video goes. So, this is Broadline Trains, or Josh from Broadline Trains, and I will catch you guys later. Bye!
Listen to that rhythm swelling, and you'll hear the boys rebelling, mutiny on the bandstand. I'll admit the boys are willing, but the music won't sound thrilling. You'll be up and find the villain, mutiny on the bandstand. With rehearsal every day, we used to be so busy, but the music went around and all the boys got dizzy. We'll bring out the brute in us now, though you'll think it's mutinous now. There is not a toot in us now, mutiny on the bandstand.